Well, I've already screwed it up. I've already made mistakes. I can't because I don't have. Oh, first of all, I gotta turn that off. Hold on, everybody. We'll get to it. It's the first fucking show. Everybody, just calm the fuck down. I have to go learn how to use OBS first of all. So what you guys want to see is this. There we go. Now it's happening. What's up, Robin?
What's up?
This is the Robin Show, tentatively named Robin Ramblings, and I'm going to give you guys the theme song right now. It is the Robin Show. That's the theme song, so we'll work on that. I am Rob Toohey, and this is...
Robin.
Yeah,
Nix.
Robin Nix.
Robin Nix.
So welcome everybody to the inaugural show. We're going to be doing this on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern in the United States. And
the United States.
Yeah, a lot of people think that when I say the United States that I'm making a joke about Jewish people, and I'm not. I'm just saying it in a Hispanic accent. That's the difference.
I got that.
The United States.
I lived in California though. So.
Yeah, me too. So there's no S. There's no S. It's United States. So
United States.
Yeah. So I don't know why I'm yelling. I'm so excited, Rob. I'm gonna try and calm down. And we
Take
thought,
deep breath.
for those of you that have been here for a minute, we thought that we would, for the countdown, we didn't have a slide, so we thought we'd just put us, but with no mic, so you guys would be looking at this like, what the hell are they talking about? And then I pushed a button and made the whole thing mess up, and it fixed it with like 90 seconds left to go. So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. All right. Good night, everybody. That's it. So
Great show.
The show is us just goofing off, guys. So a lot of you on this channel know about Fantasy Grounds, and Robin is a co-host on the Sunday night show. We talk about Fantasy Grounds, and we play a lot of D&D, and that's what we do on this channel. But this show is not necessarily that. It can be, but it's
we'll still talk about it.
Yeah, it's basically for you, the viewers, to ask questions in the chat and interact with us. And then if you don't, or as like now, if no one's here, then we will. There are people here, but not as many, because people aren't used to coming to this channel on Wednesdays. But
that's all right.
Yeah, it's all right.
We love everybody who's here.
We love everybody who's here,
and that's what matters.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go into Discord right now and say, we're streaming live, so come watch.
We're doing it.
Hey everybody, Robin and I are streaming live on the new show. Come watch.
Or don't, because it might be a disaster.
It might be.
Or watch because it will be a disaster.
I was in stand-up comedy professionally for many years, and if it's a disaster, it's even funnier. So
Lensman wants to know if I'm still playing Vampire. I am. I don't play it. I was like a guest in another game, and I guess Rob and I are playing in it soon.
May the force be with you. Let me find out. All things.
But that's like a one shot too. So I don't play it like it's not. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. It's not a reoccurring thing for me. No. I'm not in a campaign.
Oh, it's more than one word. We are playing on
Words are hard.
Words are hard. We're playing on May 3rd with Erelon and Azil.
Yes.
And Fury Fate and Robin and I will be in. And who's Azil will be the storyteller for that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he actually DM'd me about my character, so that was exciting because I got to pick what I was gonna be and stuff.
Yeah.
Rob's like, whatever. I don't.
No. He DM'd me and he's like, "Do you want to make your character or pre-gen?" And I was like, pre-gen, comma whatever the least amount of or nothing that I have to do, comma lazy hashtag no work or whatever I said to him. And then he goes, okay, I get it. I'll make a pre-gen for you. And then a couple hours later...
Cheerbits in the stream.
Cheerbits, hey, Dragonbait, thank you for the cheerbits. A couple hours later, he said, do you have a preference of background? And I just copied what I said before and pasted it. And he's like, I get it. Yeah, because I want to
That's
put no
messed up.
effort into it. I just want to show up and be funny, which is
Yeah, so Hazel asked me if I wanted a pre-made too. And I said I did want a pre-made, but I would like to be a specific clan. Um, and so I'm going to be in Clan Vendrew.
yeah,
Because
Ventru.
Lensman was asking.
By the way, I do have many professional microphones here, but I don't use them. I just use my
Why
headset.
not? Well, those are blue microphones.
Yeah,
I
they are.
wouldn't necessarily call them professional.
What do you mean blue?
Like the brand name, Blue Yetis
Oh,
and
I'm
Blue
looking
Snow
at I'm looking at
Walls.
these and I'm like, these are black. Am I colorblind?
No, the brand is
Oh
blue.
yeah, so
Look,
they're not
I
professional.
am a microphone connoisseur.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you have there? A Shure?
This is a Samson C201U, and it's
Well,
very nice.
201U too, lady.
I love my microphone.
Send one to me. I'll pay shipping. Yeah, no, it's
I
not that I'm
have
not.
old ones.
No. Lensman in the chat is like telling me send him a microphone.
Oh,
It's not that
okay.
I'm not going to use them. So I also have. Let me see if I can turn them on. I also have stream lights. I have
Yeah, I
Elgato
don't have
panels.
those.
I don't use them. I'd never have used them. I
I
suppose
would
if
like some.
if I turned the lights off in here, I could probably make use of them. But
Right, because I feel like I would look better with better lighting.
I love you,
That sounded really
man.
egotistical. That's not how I meant it, but I'm sure you get what I'm saying.
I
But
think that's true of
no,
anybody on a camera. They would look better with.
I love you, man.
hype train incoming. What is this on Twitch? You have limited time to earn exclusive emotes. I have no idea what's happening
Is
on
this an
Twitch.
email or is it on Twitch?
No, it's like on Twitch. It says hype train.
Oh yeah, hype train.
Sub, gift, or use
69%.
bits.
Let's go.
Giggity.
Diablo Bob and Maticuri, thank you for the resubs, sirs. Hype
What's
train.
a hype train?
I don't know. What does it do? Sub, gift,
I
or
don't
use
know.
bits, and then next to get to the next level. Oh, so Diablo Bob and Maticuri, they just subbed. So they get added to that. And if anybody cheers bits or subs or does any stuff, it builds it. And I guess
That's
there's
dope.
yeah, we got 4 minutes left to get to 100%. We're only at 69. Giggity.
Giggity.
Hype
Oh my
train
gosh.
increases level and rewards. Yeah, Diablo Bob knows how it works. He knows how everything works.
But I don't get it. Hype conductor. Okay, you know what? That's so cool. Like so cool.
Are you the hype conductor?
I am not. Diablo Bob is the hype conductor.
Is he? All right.
Yeah.
Woo woo.
Choo choo. This is ridiculous.
This is so ridiculous.
I
So
love it.
what did you do today? It sounded like there was more there, but there's not.
The dot.
Yeah.
I just finished a conversion actually, so I'll be sending that back to the author soon, like tomorrow. And then I only have 2 more conversions and then my queue is empty and I'm contemplating posting in the DMs Guild Discord that I'm no longer taking Fantasy Grounds conversions except for like a select like few individuals who I've pretty much done all their conversions for. Like Sven
Yeah.
Truckenbrodt. Like I love that guy. He's awesome. And I'll do his conversions till I die. You know, like that. So
And there's 3 in the queue and Team 2E too, just by the way, just so you know.
right, yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm so close to being done with like what I have in my queue, and then I can just for the most part be done.
Yeah.
I am actually like really burnt out on converting stuff. So done with it. Yeah, that was my day. How was your day? What'd you do today?
I'll tell you. Let me answer Lensman's question. It's moving along. ETA, no ETA. When Unity's finalized, I don't know. It'll be a while. It's like 550 pages. So, what did I do today? I woke up and I had bacon and eggs and toast. And it was awesome. Look, I'm crying. I'm
That sounds
crying.
good.
I don't know if you can see it. And then I watched something. I don't know. The news. I don't
TV?
remember. Yeah, TV. And then I got caught up on all my board game arena turns. I had like 55 turns to take on my turn-based games that I do. Just
I
for
need to do that.
Yeah, it's fun.
I need to sign up for that.
Sign up for it and make me your friend, and then we'll play turn-based games.
Oh, yes.
And then what else did I do? I
question.
Huh?
Pause. Is there an app for that, or is it
browser-based?
Browser only.
Mhm.
I
mean, there might be an app, but
okay,
I've never.
okay.
I don't think so. You can play it on a tablet. I know that.
So,
but
I
it's
think
still
I have a tablet. Carry on.
browser-based. So then I talked to a friend, and then I talked to another friend that I haven't talked to in many years. So that was fun. Not
That's
many
awesome.
years, but I've been in contact with her like Facebook and periodically.
Yeah.
I've known her for 40 years, so it was fun to catch up. And then I took a nap, and that's it.
And then I took a nap.
Yeah.
I wish I could take naps. I don't have that luxury.
When there's other people around, it's harder to take naps.
Yeah, when they're small and under the age of like 10 and depend on you for everything.
Right. It's almost like they're children. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? Crazy.
It's crazy.
Diablo Bob wants to know. Oh no, I think he's just saying that you watched The Princess Bride. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I watched. Yeah, he's saying I watched The Princess Bride and The Holy Grail. Your two favorite movies, Robin. Those are your two favorite movies.
Well, I haven't seen Monty Python like all the way through.
That's even worse. I watched 20 minutes and I couldn't take it.
No. I've seen like one clip from it that everybody links on the internet, like everywhere.
What's the clip?
I think it's from Monty Python. The clip where they're like dueling and the guy gets his like arms cut off and then his legs cut off.
Oh yeah, the Black Knight. Okay. Yeah, it's a flesh wound.
Yes.
Tis but a scratch.
Tis but a flesh. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I've seen that clip because I don't know how you could even like be on the internet and not like know that clip. Like it's so profound, or it's everywhere.
It's like not knowing what rickrolling is. You have to.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my grandma, who died in 1940, she knows what rickrolling is. You see what I did? Yeah. I made a joke where it's not possible for her to know, and then yet she does. That's the emphasis.
That's right.
All right, exactly. We'll call it a draw. Oh yeah, the nuns. So that the thing about Monty Python though, that's the famous clip. But that movie has so many famous. Like if you ask anybody over the age of maybe 40 or so, they can tell you like 5 things or more from that movie. I mean, it's crazy.
Right. Yeah. I believe it, and I'm sure like if it was quoted to me or linked like a GIF to me, I would know that it's from Monty Python because you can tell. I've just never seen the movie like start to finish. If that makes sense.
Well, it makes grammatical sense, but it doesn't make like world sense that you haven't seen
like,
the whole movie.
No logic.
Right.
But I mean, I did. We have a like a movie server in our house that my husband set up, and like I can go and like put in a request for a movie and it gets like added to our server when we purchase it or whatever. So I went and did that for the Godfather trilogy. You'll be happy.
Yes.
Right? Because that was one you guys said I should see. And then I got I don't know why, but I really wanted to watch Men in Black, so I got the Men in Black trilogy.
Yeah, those are fun.
And then I did Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I noticed that there were more. Do I have to watch all of them?
If you only watch one, listen to you. It's like such a burden on your life.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You only have to. The one you should watch is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. The other ones are funny, and they're funny in different ways. But if you're picking one, the Holy Grail is the one to watch. But the other ones are equally as funny. They're just different subject matter.
Gotcha. Okay.
So how do I set up a server and then I push a button and I pay for the movie and it comes on? I don't know how that works. I like it.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially how it works, but that's not a question that I even know how to answer because my husband set it up. So,
All right.
but like it's really cool because we can watch the movies stored on that server on any TV in our house. It's
my friend
mind blowing.
Yeah, my friend in Seattle did a similar thing. He has it where any movie on his hard drive anybody can watch in his whole house, and he's got like his wife is Cambodian, and therefore he has 11 people living in his house. But
oh God,
there's like there's 3 floors in his house, and he can just watch it anywhere. And he goes, I just watch them on my computer. They can watch it. He's trying to hole up in his office and stay safe away from his family.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's like really cool for the kids too because we can just pop on like a Disney movie or whatever and watch movies. Everybody's telling me in chat that I have to see Black Ladder. What is this movie?
No, Black
I've never
Adder.
heard of
Black
it.
Adder, no L.
Oh, Black Adder.
Black Adder.
What's it about?
Well, again, it's these are all British comedies. Black Adder is a Rowan Atkinson vehicle that from like the 80s, and they did several series. But it's like absurd history, place like during the Renaissance or during the Dark Ages or whatever, and then they would have yeah. So it's pretty funny.
That's my wheelhouse.
I wasn't a big fan of that, but I am a huge fan of Rowan Atkinson himself. Okay. And he's just that's Mr. Bean, the guy that does Mr. Bean. That's him.
Oh, okay. I don't know who Mr. Bean is.
All right. Well, I thought this was going to be for many weeks, but apparently Diet Coke to the rescue. Diet Coke and water. Let's see if I can drink them together. I don't think that's gonna work.
I would make an excellent comedian if I didn't laugh at my own jokes. I would be so good at it because I'm funny.
Yeah, you're funny, and then you go, I'm funny. Yeah, Johnny English. Do you know Johnny English?
No, I don't.
Well, come on, guys. She's not gonna know that.
I
Robin,
don't know who that is.
told me the other day how many movies you've seen in your whole life. Was it 25?
Like, yeah, 25. No, like 250. But that includes like Disney movies. Yeah.
I figured it out when I was like 35 or something. I had calculated that I'd seen 6,000 movies in the theater. So now it's probably more like 10,000. I don't go to the movie theater as often anymore. Well, not at all right now but anyway,
Corona.
The Kron is out there. Yeah, you don't want to get it. So when I lived in Arizona, especially, I lived in a place. I lived in Phoenix or Mesa. I lived where there was 6 movie theater complexes within walking distance.
Oh my God.
There was like 2 movie theater things that were just movie theaters in the parking lot, and they had multiple screens, and then there was like 2 malls, and so I would go to the movies 3 or 4 times a week, and I did that for I did that for 4 years. It was
crazy.
Awesome. Yeah.
So, I mean, like for me, I've seen so like my favorite kinds of movies are like fantasy movies or historical period. Like I love 300. That's a great movie. I really like ancient history or medieval ages, dark ages, bronze age. That's like history is my jam.
Yeah, I see.
But I also really like fantasy. I like some sci-fi. But I'm really picky about sci-fi. So like I've seen some really like weird movies that other people generally haven't seen or they're not that popular. Like Stardust is a good movie. I like that movie. And yeah, it's Danny DeVito plays a cross-dresser in that movie. It's really good.
It's a shame that the way the
I love
cameras
Gladiator.
My Seattle is backwards on stream. It should be, I don't know. Fuck whatever.
It's fine.
It's fine. People know what it is.
It's fine. So I've seen all the Harry Potter movies. Oh, I also really like scary movies. Like even if they're like bad. Like I really like scary movies.
Have you seen The Exorcist?
I've seen Jeepers Creepers. I've seen The Exorcist. I've seen The Blair Witch Project. I've seen Paranormal Activity. Yeah, so like I really like scary movies, fantasy movies, history movies. That's like my jam.
I saw the Blair Witch Project. This was what, 2000 or 2001 maybe,
Mhm.
in the theater at the Beverly Center in Beverly Hills, and the theater was no empty seats, and I was in the middle of the middle of the middle of this theater,
Okay.
and people were vomiting because of the shaky cam,
Oh God.
and I couldn't. And then what would happen is someone would throw up on the floor in front of themselves, and it chain reacted, and like 60% of the people in the fucking theater vomited. It was the most traumatic experience of my life. So I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah, I
It
can
was a
understand
good.
that.
It was a good. I do like how they made it, and they made an internet thing, and it was supposed to be real. I loved all that, but actually sitting in the theater and watching it, no,
Right.
I don't have good memories.
There was a movie that came out in the last decade. I'm really bad at this, but it was also filmed just like the Blair Witch Project is, and it was about like aliens taking over some like metropolitan city or whatever.
Oh yes, yes, that was called.
I can't think of the name of it.
Someone in the chat's gonna type it.
Mhm.
Oh, Cloverfield.
Cloverfield, yes.
Yeah.
I really liked that one too.
Yeah,
I
liked it.
I liked it, but obviously not enough to remember the name of the movie. But I like that one.
I know
So, I
movie
don't know,
years.
I like that kind of
I
stuff.
especially know anything before the year 2000. Howard the Duck, 1986. I
Howard the Duck.
I can name the year. Like I'm like a savant that way. I know
Yes.
the year of the movie.
That's super impressive. I can't
Yeah.
do that, obviously.
It's Hey man, if you get the name of the movie, I'll be impressed. That's what I like.
Yeah.
That's the
yeah.
other thing I do is people will go, "Have you seen 300?" And I'll be like, "Oh, you mean the movie with really good graphics with Gerard Butler, and it's about like the Spartan fight?" And they go, "Yeah, yeah." And I go, "No, I haven't seen it." So
So good.
I know.
Oh my God.
I actually have seen 300. I was just using
Okay,
an
I was
example.
gonna say.
But people will ask me about a movie, and I'll tell them all about the movie, and then go, "No, I haven't seen it," because I'm like so behind the scenes Hollywood Reporter, Variety magazine. Even though I don't subscribe to those.
The Inquirer.
VHF was
TMZ.
86, I think. Diablo Bob.
What's VHF?
VHF was a movie with Arsenio Hall and Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh my God. White and nerdy Weird Al Yankovic. That's all I know. Weird Al Yankovic. He does parody songs.
Oh, it was UHF. Maticuri's right.
UHF.
VHF is nothing.
Yeah, I was like.
Okay. Do you know Weird Al songs? Have you heard Weird Al songs?
Yeah. White and nerdy and Amish Paradise.
Okay.
And yeah. Music is more. I know more music than I know movies. We'll just say that. I'm not like you. I can't just like quote stuff, but yeah.
And years of because I have a numbers freak thing in my head. Like anything with a number or a date or just any count of any kind, I can try to remember. Song years I'm not as good at.
Yeah.
Diablo Bob, are you saying that Michael Richards was in UHF? I didn't remember that.
Kramer from Seinfeld. Interesting. I like TV shows. I watch a lot of TV shows. Like a lot.
TV shows are good now.
And
I find that the streaming shows or shows that you have to pay or subscribe to alternate from broadcast TV are nowadays way better than regular TV shows, which I think is probably what they have to do.
Lensman. I love Epic Rap Battles of History. I watch it every season.
That's on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. Yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So good. My favorite one is Bill Gates versus Steve Jobs. Best Epic Rap Battles of History ever.
And what do they do? Just cut video together?
Yeah. So they rap, they dress up as the characters, they even try to affect their accents in some cases. It's like this guy named Nice Peter and Epic Lloyd, and like they have a whole crew of sketch comedians basically, and they'll produce a song and then make a music video to it. I'm pretty sure they lip sync in the music video, but who cares? And they're really good. But yeah, Steve Jobs versus Bill Gates is the best epic rap battle, epic rap battles of history ever. There we go.
Gordon Ramsay versus Julia Child.
Yeah.
I seem to have cut myself. Oh my. Yeah. Dragon Bait just pandered to me, so I gave him 10,000 XP. By the way, no one else do that because I'm not giving anything else.
Aww.
It's one time only. Caesar versus Shaka. I don't know.
That one's pretty good. I also like the one they did with like all the movie producers, Steven Spielberg, Michael Bay, just because Michael Bay, like the guy playing Michael Bay's part in that song, it's so catchy and so hilarious. He like drops in on a helicopter, Michael Bay style, and he's like, "I make motherfucking money." Oh my gosh, it's just so.
Did he say money
hilarious.
Or movies?
No, he says motherfucking money. Like,
who are
you have to watch it.
Who are the actors on that show? Is it the same cast that they?
Yeah. So they use the same. It's Epic. It's a guy named Epic Lloyd, Nice Peter. These are their YouTube names. I don't know their real names. And then they have like other reoccurring, like super famous YouTubers, and sometimes they get real. Like movie stars and musicians. They have had Adam Levine was in one, I think, from Maroon 5. They've had Nicki Minaj, the female rapper. She's done one, I think. I don't know. I can't remember, but they're all really good. You should watch it someday, Rob.
I should. How often does that free tips thing come on the stream? That's fucking annoying as fuck. And I usually don't. I'm usually not looking directly at OBS when I stream. So you guys that are watching the channel all the time, how often does that come up? Do I need to get rid of that? That seems pretty.
I don't know what it is.
Well, it shows on the screen. It says free tips, support the stream, and then go. I don't know. I don't like it.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never seen it before.
Now. Well, okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not on other. Here, I'm gonna get rid of it because screw that.
We broke everything.
Gatherbot's going away anyway. Yeah, we broke everything. I know. Bitboss, I think. I don't know if they're gonna stop supporting that, but if they do, I'll have to go back to like Tip Cup or whatever that is. Because Bitboss is fun because it has hit points.
Yeah, I haven't like streamed since like regularly streamed on my own channel since like 2017. So there's all this like new stuff that I have no idea what it is. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Well, I
just don't know what that is.
When I started, that's how I built my whole channel was I don't know what that is. I don't need it.
Try it.
And then somebody would tell me, Rob, goddammit, you're going to put this on there. Trust me. And I'm like, okay, fine. But Gatherbot, I actually had to go to like a 90-minute conference call and they had to approve me and all this other stuff. It was you have to jump through hoops to get it. And now they're quitting. They're getting rid of it. I don't know.
Lame.
So what?
I do like that Twitch made it more like easy for small streamers to get like a subscriber button. The affiliate
looks better.
Status.
Yeah, they did. They did make it easier, but they made it like 4 times harder to become partner though.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
I agree because it used to be, I don't know if you know this, but it used to be when you applied for partner back in like 2016, 2017, that they would approve partners who streamed to different categories based on like the viewership of that category. So like, for example, Dungeons and Dragons does not get the same viewership as like League of Legends does.
Right.
So if you were a Dungeons and Dragons streamer, your partner requirements were significantly lower than somebody who was a League of Legends streamer or a gaming streamer. But now it's all like the same across the board, regardless.
Right.
I think is impossible for some people streaming. Yeah.
Like, you have to have an average of 75 viewers. And I've had shows with over 100. I mean, I've had, shows with 75, but it has to be average. And my average is about 15. So and it's just becomes constantly 15 or 16 for like 2 years. Like it's never gonna fucking. So
Engorgio, it's not that hard.
yeah, for Gorgio's getting audiences of like 500 though. I don't even know what the hell he's wasting his time here for. It should be streaming.
Don't say that.
But you know what? This show here, this is gonna catch on.
I love you, Engorgio.
Yeah, but what I meant was he should be streaming and making money. My
okay.
D&D games don't draw an audience, and I don't know why.
It's hard, I think,
Yeah.
like to make a D&D stream game popular. Like me as a viewer, I only watch a few of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes even the ones I do watch on the regular, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, I don't want to listen to this anymore. I would rather watch like a talk show or content creation, but I know I'm like, maybe I'm the snowflake, here. I don't know. Maybe I'm different. I don't know. Whatever.
So wait,
Twitch is hard.
Twitch is hard. Caesar is saying that Engorgio gives away free BJs on the stream. I'm gonna start doing that.
Oh, that'll do it.
What do you send them in the mail? I don't get it. Anybody that can be at my house in the next 5 minutes, they can have one. I'll do it. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, but I think giggity.
I like how we're like, oh, it's gonna be a fun show. We're talking about like Twitch. That's
yeah.
like...
Talking about how Twitch sucks on Twitch. I love Twitch. Oh, hey, Belle. Yeah, the network should boost viewers. That is true. We just started
it's really awesome.
Tabletop RPG network.
Put in a good word for me, Rob. When I start streaming on my own channel.
I'll put a good word in for you.
Thanks.
Oh no, we haven't talked about Fury's yet, Engorgio. We haven't talked about it.
Talked about what? Oh, furries. Oh, we were gonna talk about furries.
All right. You talk about it.
Okay.
Tell me. Yeah.
D&D. Do you allow? Do you like? Do you hate? Do you any of those things? Animal-like races, like Tabaxi, Loxodon from Ravnica, any of that stuff. Animal humanoids, lizard folk, Yuan-Ti.
I'm playing a lizard folk. Move your mouse pointer off your eye. Your mouse pointer is right in your eye. It's making
mouse pointer.
Oh no, it's mine. My bad. Okay.
Oh, I was like, I don't know how they see my mouse. That's weird.
I had somehow it was like right where it was on your eye, and it was look on stream. Can you guys see? Oh, you can't even see it on stream anyway. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, it was making me crazy.
Oh yeah, there we go.
It was making me insane. You have such nice. So yes, I like that. I'm playing a lizard folk. In
some people hate it.
Well,
can you believe that?
Well, I can if it's so. Let me qualify that. I'm down with like any of the things that the company makes for characters. Like they want you to do it, and I want to try everything.
Oh, you're one of those.
But yes,
only if it's official content. Yeah.
But however, I am very against and would actively promote like laws to stop the anthropomorphication. What's that word? Anthropomorphizing of pets.
And why?
No, they're not people. They're not people.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but let me just run something by you.
I have an open mind.
As a creator, okay, because me personally, I love D&D races that are animal people. Like Tabaxi, lizard folk, Yuan-Ti, we can go through the gamut.
Yeah.
But my thing is, because I make stuff for the DMs Guild, my own stuff, not just Fantasy Ground stuff, but I do make PDFs, and so I made Tabaxi sub races, and I'm coming out soon with lizard folk sub races, bearkin, like bear people. Dog people, they're called canids. Horse people, like reverse centaurs, horse head, human body, like a minotaur.
Like BoJack Horseman or whatever.
Yes, like BoJack Horseman, exactly. et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's several of them. So some people, like, when I made the tabaxi thing and when I was talking about it on Twitter, people would always be like, "Oh, Robin, you're a furry?" No, I'm not a furry, okay? I don't, like, sexualize them. That's not my thing. I'm not here to kink shame anybody. If that's your thing, good for you. But that's not my thing. I just like making animal people. Like, I don't understand what the problem is here.
Yeah, no, I
get
don't
it.
understand the problem either. I love it. Let me
Okay, cool.
say
Cool.
about the anthropomorphization of pets. I also am not here to kink shame anybody. As a matter of fact, if someone told me that they dress up their dog with a hat and jacket because it turns them on, I'd be all in for that.
Well,
But I don't
mean,
want. So let me tell you the story.
I'd be like, that's your thing, man.
If that's
Whatever
thing.
makes you happy.
Yeah, just don't bring it to my house. Anyway, let me tell you the story. This is why I had an event in my life that caused me to be this way. So when I was living in Los Angeles, I used to work at a cell phone store, and I worked with this woman, Susan, and I worked with her for a couple years, 3 years maybe. And she was older. She was probably in her mid 50s or 60-ish or mid 50s. And this was, I'm saying older because I was, at the time, I was, 35 or something.
Okay.
So she would tell all these stories about her kids. And I wouldn't pay particular attention. Don't you put a jacket on that? I'm out. I wouldn't pay particular attention.
My cat,
unless she
Tiamat,
talked to me directly, but she was always just yapping about her kids, right?
Okay.
And I swear I heard stories about like school and meals and acting up and got in trouble and all the stories you would normally hear, generic stories about kids. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then one day she goes, "Do you want to see a picture of my kids?" And I thought, well, I can't in good conscience refuse this because I work with this woman. And what if you're going to say no to somebody? Like, "Now I don't want to see your fucking kids. Fuck that." Like I wasn't going to do that.
Okay.
So I said, "Sure, I'll see your picture." She pulls out her phone, goes to the picture, shows me a picture of 3 dogs. And I'm like, "Oh, those are cute dogs. Where are your kids? You were going to show me your kids." And she goes, "Those are my children." And 3 years of kid stories came flooding into my mind, and I got fucking pissed. I just turned around and walked away. Because she was presenting all of her kids' stories as like that they were human. And it turns out that she's talking about her fucking wiener dogs. And I'm like, no. And I had to like leave, and like I had to tell I said I'm taking an early lunch, I'm leaving, and I walked out of the building, and everyone was like, "What's wrong?" And I was the only one who wasn't aware that she was talking about dogs.
I gotcha.
Yeah, so
that would be because it's misleading.
She was misleading
That's the
people.
problem.
Yeah, and when she customer Pat Sajak comes into the store and is talking to her, and he's like, "How are your kids?" And she's like, "Oh, they're doing great. And how's your family?" "Oh yeah, great, fine." And he leaves. And I'm like, "There's no way that man knows that she's talking about dogs. It's just not fucking true." And so then I got pissed about that. Fur babies.
Yeah. So like, I love my pets as much as anybody else does. Well, I would hope so anyways. But I don't like ascribe them human, sometimes I'd be like, "Oh, you want some cuddles?" or whatever.
Yeah.
Like everybody baby talks to their pets. I do anyways. But I get what you're saying. They're not we're on the same page.
Here's the other thing. Your cat's named Tiamat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a
and
human
her brother
name.
is
Right.
Bahamut.
Right, exactly. Perfect.
Yeah, I named them after dragons.
In fact, this woman's dogs'
ahead.
names were Frank, George, and Sammy. So they were all human names, right?
Right, but I mean, human names for dogs is pretty common. Like that.
But all 3 of them,
lot.
and then she was pulling a scam, and she got me. I just was really mad that I fell for it. That's what it was. I was super mad that she got me.
Oh, so Ingorgio's asking about Morty. So my cat Tiamat, when we first got her, I thought she was a girl. My first vet, I'm trying to abbreviate this story. My first vet told me that she was a boy. So we changed her name to Mordenkainen. She was named after Mordenkainen, the wizard. And we were calling her Morty for the longest time. And then we took her to a different vet because I hated that vet, like with a passion. So we drove like 30 miles for a different vet. Like I just hated that vet. So we went and saw a new vet, and the new vet was like, no, this isn't a boy, it's a girl. And I was like, I was fucking right the whole time. Anyways, because they're long-haired cats, so that it's like if you try to look down there, it's just fluff, like just fur everywhere. It's kind of hard. But anyways, so we took them to go get them neutered because we thought they were both boys. And then the vet was like, no, this is a girl. She needs to be spayed. So long story short, I was like, fuck my old vet. And Morty, I'm sorry, but you're a girl.
How's a veterinarian
I have
going to
no
misclassify
idea.
a sex on an animal? That's crazy.
They were only like 6 weeks old at the time, but still you can tell their gender at like 2 weeks old. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. So yeah, we had her spayed, we had Bahamut neutered, and now I've been trying to call her Tiamat because she's a girl, and that was her name originally. I nursed them when they were 3 weeks old out of like little baby cat bottles. They were abandoned.
Wow.
So like I still have the bottles where I labeled them with their names so that I could see who was eating how much, because kittens. And anyway, so the bottle says Tiamat, the other one says Bahamut, and that was their names from the very get-go. So fuck my old vet. Yeah, that's that story.
That's right. I'm looking on Twitter to see if anybody's tweeted me about the show, and no.
Okay. And no. There were comments in chat earlier, but like chat went by so fast.
Scroll back.
Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah,
What were the
I was trying to answer
regarding?
people. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Because we were talking about furry. So like, you're okay with animal races in D&D. Some people hate it. Like some people refuse to allow even official, like Tabaxi, Loxodon. Those are official D&D races, and they'll be like, not in my game. Nope. I don't get it.
Whoa.
Anyways,
I turned off the free tips thing, yet it's still there. Weird.
Oh no.
So
what you're saying though, when I make it, you'll buy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll buy it.
I'll buy it. You said it twice,
right.
So I have to buy it twice?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You do have to buy it twice. You have to buy the PDF and the Fantasy Grounds.
And the Fantasy Grounds module better be 50% higher than the PDF. That's the standard I tried to
create.
Yes.
I disagree with that.
I started that standard, and every once in a while I go look at stuff, and people are doing. That's what everybody's doing.
I think so. What I've heard from other people who have asked me to do their conversions long before you and I like really got to know each other, and they were always like, oh well, so what should I price it at? And I'd be like, just price it the same as the PDF. That's always what I said. I can feel your anger like emanating.
I'm not angry at all. I mean, it's a completely legitimate thing to do that. I just think that I happen to be of the personal belief that the Fantasy Grounds module is worth more to me than any PDF.
Right.
Yeah.
And I understand. And I agree with that, but so they would always be like, well, what's your rate? And I would tell them my rate, and they'd be like, well, I'll just price it that percentage higher than the PDF. Exactly. So that they still make the same amount of money. So I understand why. Yeah, I get it. I get the math behind it. I just don't necessarily agree with it.
And you're free to disagree.
It's called an opinion, man.
It's called an opinion, and I have some. So you're going to get to know a few of my opinions.
That's
right.
What
voice is
At
that?
least we don't...
Is that Garth?
I don't know.
We fear change.
Do
you know Wayne's World?
I know what it is. I've never seen it, though.
Okay. It was...
I mean, like, I can hear the song, Wayne's World, or whatever.
World.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wayne's World
seen it.
On Aurora Cable Channel 10. Everybody wants to be cheap and buy the PDF and convert it themselves. Yeah, Cordovan, that's a thing. But imagine the emails I get. Hey, I was converting this. Fuck that. Is this for sale? Do you have this?
Yeah, I find converting very tedious. is very
I don't
tedious.
like it.
like
I don't do as much of it now as I used to, but yeah, it's. I mean, for a period of about 2 years, I was doing it 16 hours a day.
Right. Yeah.
Tabletop RPG Network has retweeted us. It's on the screen right
Oh,
now.
snap.
Yeah, snap.
I would, so like my personal preference in terms of like making stuff for DM's Guild, I would prefer to make my own Fantasy Grounds content. And I have on my Trello, I have like a personal Trello that I use for like tracking my projects. I have like 6 projects just sitting on my Trello that I never have time to do because all I'm doing is conversion work.
Yeah.
I'm just so done with it. I just want to be done.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize, a lot of people that aren't affiliated with DM's Guild, or even some people that are affiliated with DM's Guild, but they don't really know what Fantasy Grounds is.
Mm-hmm.
They don't realize that when, you know, someone like you or I converts something for somebody and then puts it on sale, they think we get all that money. No. First of all, right away, 50% of it evaporates because that's what...
Goodbye.
Yeah, OBS and Wizards of the Coast gets, right? And then out of that, Smiteworks gets 10% of that 50% for any Fantasy Grounds module. So...
And then you're splitting with the PDF author.
Right. There's 50% left, and that gets split up between whoever's doing development, and that might be more than one person, and the author of the original work, because they're not going to just give it away for free.
That's
and
right.
They're used to getting, you know, I sell my PDF for $5. I'm used to getting $2.50, and then now when you tell them, well, when we do the Fantasy Grounds, you know, you're going to get $1.25 or whatever, they're like, so that's why you got to up it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, also, I understand. I just think, like, me as a consumer, because before I ever did this, I was just that, a consumer. I bought Fantasy Grounds content on DM's Guild, and I always hated that it costs more than the PDF. And I was one of those people that was like, well, I could just buy the PDF for $4 or $5 less and convert it myself.
Right.
So there's actually a lot of PDFs out there that I've bought off the DM's Guild that have Fantasy Grounds modules that I just converted myself because I was like, you guys, y'all are too expensive.
Yeah, and that's completely legitimate. I mean, there's people that also have Fantasy Grounds, and they don't buy like the Dungeon Master's Guide or the Player's Handbook. They put it in themselves.
Yeah, that's too much work. I'm not doing that.
Exactly. And it's like, is $29 worth the fucking 100 hours it's going to take you to put it in? Well, to some people it is.
No.
But
oh yeah, I mean, sure, fine. Some of it. I'll do smaller adventures, like official or Adventures League. I used to do Adventures League stuff, and I always had to make conversions of that because for whatever reason, Adventures Guild people on the DM's Guild, they're not always open to having their stuff converted. I think there's more nowadays, but like a year or two ago, it was like a dead zone for trying to find Fantasy Grounds modules.
Part of the reason that is because the DM's Guild has a rule, Adventures League specific, you can't sell the Fantasy Grounds modules separate. It has to come with the PDF.
They have to go together. Yeah.
Right. So you're never going to find it. You're only the hungry kids are going to do that conversion work. I'm certainly not going to do it. I mean,
I've converted several of them.
I did
for personal use.
Yeah. I have seasons 1 through 5 in Fantasy Grounds.
I have seasons 4 through 7 converted. Did all the work myself. That's funny. Okay.
But we can't. Obviously, we can't. Because people ask me about that all the time.
Yeah, we can't share it.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, can I get? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm not going to lose my whole business because I give you. Yeah. I'm not going to do that.
Exactly.
Question:
yeah.
Does the DM's Guild have a rule that
you got it?
They only want or take ownership of 5e content uploaded to their site. What is that? I was trying to be funny.
Yes. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. So once you put something on DM's Guild holds an exclusive right to that content. It cannot be published, posted anywhere else, with the exception of artwork. Artwork is not exclusive to the DM's Guild. That's your answer.
Yes. And so therefore, here's the other thing about DM's Guild. They don't do this very often. And I can't think of an example where they have done it, but they reserve the right to take your material and say we own that now and do whatever they want with it,
technically they already do.
including removing it from the site, and you still can't publish it anywhere else.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
That
I'm just saying that's
happened
the thing.
recently.
Did it?
Actually, somebody's PDF got pulled, and that PDF, well, okay. It got pulled off of DM's Guild. They can't publish it anywhere else, even though it's not even on the DM's Guild anymore. But there was this whole hullabaloo about it. But anyways, they fixed some issues that were brought up about that PDF, and then they made it go available again on the DM's Guild. Words are really hard right now.
This was because of content, though, right? Like there's inappropriate content in it or whatever.
But it wasn't even that inappropriate in my opinion.
I think I remember almost every single time I see anything on Twitter or Facebook or it's on a blog or whatever. Almost, I'm not saying 100%, but most of the time when somebody says, here's what happened and it got in trouble because of this, my reaction is always, what? Why? Who is so I forget who the person is, but there's somebody that said a quote that's really stuck with me for a long time, and that is, try not to be offensive, but try harder to not be offended. Because it's
and
just living your life that way where
that.
every little thing bothers you and you're a snowflake. That's just so wrong.
Yeah.
I just don't like it. I
try to live that way myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do say things that, like, in my head I'm like, oh gosh, that was not very nice, or whatever. But then I'm like, well, why do I have to get butthurt about that or whatever?
Don't be butthurt.
It's the internet. Yeah, people are mean.
And especially it's one thing if you say something to somebody on face to face,
right?
In the room with them, then, because everything on the internet is you're sort of hiding behind a shield of the internet. And even if you're not, even if you're being 100%, like, I try to be my true self on the internet.
For
like,
sure.
In other words, I don't try to say anything that I wouldn't say to you anyway, but whatever.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. We're in the same camp.
But yeah,
people say things, even if I'm like, man, that was kind of mean or whatever. I'm such a, like, let it go kind of person, I'll sing the song. But yeah, I don't know, even like with my husband, if we don't get in fights, like, hardly ever, but if we do, I'm like 10 seconds later, I'm like, that was stupid, I'm sorry, let's be done, because I just don't like fighting with people. I don't like it.
One of my older girlfriends, she had a great technique, and this it was so amazing. She would say, her name was Jennifer, and she was from Mississippi, but in order to break, she moved to California when she was 13 years old, and in order to break herself from her southern accent, she talked like a valley girl.
Oh God!
And even she was like 20. Yeah, it was. But I loved it. I loved her so much for that. But she would do this. We'd get into an argument or whatever, and she'd go, you know what? Let's fight about this tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do it.
And I'd go, okay. And then the next day, every time I would wake up and not remember that we were even fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a smart tactic because most, like, especially in romantic relationships, most fights are about stupid shit.
Right.
And literally, if you do that, let's talk about this tomorrow or whatever. Most of that shit is so unimportant that you forget about it, and it doesn't fucking matter. So, marriage advice, everybody, right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bob, we did realize that about the icons. But the reason that is I'm actually supposed to be on the left and Robin is supposed to be on the right. But VC wasn't working for us, and so we went into
this guy.
over there.
I don't know which direction you are.
We went to
that way.
We went to panic mode, and this is actually us in Discord. So this is not VC, because VC, for some reason, I called her just like I call everybody on the Saturday game, and she couldn't hear me, and it was a nightmare, and it was only 20 minutes left. And
we got corrected in chat.
Got corrected?
about the DM's Guild thing. Yeah, about the DM's Guild stuff. So apparently they changed it, and now they don't own your stuff until they say they own it. But I'm pretty sure that if you put something on the DM's Guild, you still can't publish it anywhere else.
That is true, yes. And thank you,
I'm
Metakure,
pretty
for
sure.
fact-checking me, because I love to
Yes,
fact check.
thanks for the fact
And by the way,
fact
I am
checks.
not being sarcastic. Everybody busts my ass for being a grammar
Oh
Nazi.
no,
I love
I
to be
love
corrected.
it.
I love it. We are the same
Me
person.
too. We
Yes.
are the same person.
Hashtag me too. Exactly.
Hashtag me too. That's right. Okay.
I'm significantly older than her, you guys. By the way, I don't know, instead of the camera, I decided to talk to my chatty bot over here. I don't know why I'm doing that. Did you freeze? Uh-oh, did I lose her? Holy Christ, she's frozen. She's frozen, everybody. I don't know what happened. Okay, well, it's the Rob Show.
It's my internet is
Oh, okay.
going bonkers. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. And I just threw you under the bus. I'm like, it's the Rob Show, everybody.
Fuck you. No.
Fuck you.
So like you went frozen, but I could still hear you, and I'm like tap 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 talking to you, replying to you, everything you're saying.
So
Oh
I'm
my
going to give
gosh.
you a little insight. I'm going to give you a little teeny piece of inside Rob Tui's mind right now. So you froze.
I mean, it's basically my mind, though.
Exactly.
So
Well, see if you would have done the same thing. You froze, but I didn't know you froze, and I'm like, look at her. She's just sitting still listening to me. I love her so much. And it turns out, no,
I would
you were
probably
just
do the
frozen.
same
Yeah.
I could probably, I don't know, I'm too animated to sit still for very long, but I could try.
That's very good. That's all I need. You convinced me. Your eyebrows went up a little bit when you did that.
Because I was holding back a laugh.
Right. Well, I was just gonna say, if I do that, if I try to sit still, and I mean my mouth's gonna be moving because I'm gonna say, what I'm thinking is, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, and it's hard. It's hard.
It was whole person spell that she saved.
There you go,
That's
Dragon Bait. You're right on it.
I love it. Why are you so close to my mic? Am I too loud? This mic is a condenser mic, so you have to be really close to it for it to sound good. Am I too loud? Is that the problem?
You're not too loud to me.
It's like the kind they use in radio.
Cordovan
places.
says he can't
it
stop
called?
sitting still. Broadcast, is that what you mean to say? Broadcast microphone? I went to
love this
broadcasting school.
microphone.
Did you know that about me? I did.
I tried to go to broadcasting school,
Really?
but I had a kid when I was 19. So
Me too.
dreams were dashed.
I don't know. My favorite bit is when you ask a woman, do you have any children?
I like that.
And
I
they
like
s-
that my microphone covers my face, chat. I love it.
We
'cause
don't
it's
like
like a safety blanket for me. It's a comfort mechanism. Just leave it this way.
just gonna hold this. We don't like it, Robin. We want to see your face, your whole face. And by the way, my whole entire life is
toothbrush.
it's
I brush my teeth.
It's really there she came out. She came up from behind. It's really hard for me because I don't look at people's eyes. I look at their mouths.
I always look at people's eyes.
Yeah, I don't do that.
The eyes are the windows to the soul.
Are they really? Anyway, what I was saying
isn't that like a Robert Frost poem?
maybe
or
I'm not
something?
cultured like you.
I'm
So,
not cultured at all.
what was I saying, you guys? Something about something. I guess if I don't remember, it's not going to be that important.
I'm not sure what
broadcasting school.
Lynn's saying.
I don't know what Lynn was saying.
Broadcasting school. You went to broadcasting school. I think he's trying to say that I have horrible teeth.
No, he's not saying that. I can tell you brushed them. Me too. So, what I was saying was one of my favorite bits is when you ask any woman if she has children, and they respond, "Not that I know of."
That I know. Oh,
right, because that's what a guy says, right? But it's funnier if a woman says it, because then people go, "Wait, how would you?" But if you, I like jokes like that. Belle says, "I took the promo pic when Robin went to drink her soda, so Mike not in front. Yay!
But no, but it's like, it's so important. It's like, it's my thing.
It's my thing.
That's awesome. Yay. I love it.
So, how long should we go? I have no.
I mean, an hour, whatever.
It's over.
I know, right? This was. Oh, I know, but I didn't mean that. Like, I'm done. Let's go. Goodbye. No, this was. I just mean, I don't know. Words are hard. Damn it, Rob! You like threw me off.
I have confounded you.
Mm-hmm.
They're saying that's your blanket like Linus. Do you know Peanuts cartoons? Do you know that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I do, because I quoted it once to you. Well, it was from the Charlie Brown cartoon, like the movie. I don't know. You know when Charlie Brown? I think it's in Charlie Brown when like the grown-ups are talking to them and they make like wah, 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 wah,
oh yeah, I love
wah,
that
sounds. Yeah. Okay. It's from the Charlie Brown movies, which is shockingly a movie I have seen. Some of them. I have kids though.
The answer to your question, Diablo Bob, is probably not today at all. I mean, hold on, let me check. Yeah, there's nobody coming to my house today. So that's one of my favorite things is, wah, 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 wah. No, ma'am. Wah,
yeah,
wah, wah,
exactly.
Wah. Yes, ma'am.
Because it's so relatable. Even when somebody is like talking to you about things you don't understand. My husband does this to me all the time. He'll be talking about like computer stuff I don't get, and I'll be like, everything's going in one ear and out the other. I don't.
I used to do that on my act when I used to tell the audience, whenever I'm talking to a woman, if they say the word husband or boyfriend, everything after that is the Charlie Brown teacher. Hey Rob, that was a really funny show. My husband and I use wah 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 wah. I'm not getting it because I don't have a shot anymore. And as a stand-up comic, there's only one reason. Was I doing it to make people laugh and have a good time and help them with their lives to get away from their miserable lives for an hour? No, it was just to get laid, and it never worked. So I just kept trying.
Well,
not yet.
I wonder why. I'm kidding. Because if you were doing comedy for just to do comedy, then
I was. That was a little joke.
Okay, good. I'm glad. All right, it went whoosh.
That's all right.
I love you, Rob.
No,
you don't be offended by me.
I'm not offended. That's the other thing is I can't get offended. So that's not true. I can get offended, but it wouldn't be something that somebody was saying about me. Like, Rob, you're so this or you're so that. None of that offends me. What I get offended by is people's willful ignorance. That offends me. Like the people that are protesting right now in the states and they're out saying, that offends me. That's offensive to me. But it's not about me personally, right? And that's why I'm such a grammar Nazi and whatever. I get so upset if somebody pronounces it supposedly. Because it's like,
I don't like that either.
Where did you go to school? Please tell me where you went to school. Did you go to school?
Aww.
Yeah. It's upsetting.
That's why I think it's even funnier to point out when you type things wrong.
Oh, yeah. Now,
I love it. Typing, it's like my favorite.
Yeah, I love it. I get so upset with myself. But typing is... So I'm guilty of two things. Especially in like Discord or some place like that. On Twitter or some place, I'm probably more careful because I know once you hit it, it's over. You have to either delete it, you can't edit it. But in Discord, I just type, send, send. And then you'll constantly see after almost everything I type in Discord, it says edited after the end of it because I go back. I'm like, fuck, I gotta change it. Mm-hmm. But the other thing
Cordovan, that's one of my the worst one to me is when people say should have. It should have. I should have went to the store. Could have.
I don't think people are saying should have. I think what they're saying is I should.
But they type it that way.
Oh yeah, if they type it, they're just a moron.
Type should have.
Yeah.
Or could have.
Because it sounds like should have. I should have.
Yeah.
But But
And
if you
that's
type,
fine.
yeah, if you type should
Just
OF,
type it right.
exactly.
I'm an asshole. I agree. Oh, Rob, I have a question before you
Okay,
for
wait.
you before we finish the show.
Okay, but pause. You paused me earlier. I
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
technique.
Sorry.
So, McClancy, I'm very much okay with shoulda or gonna or slang
Yeah,
typing.
those aren't
That's
that
fine.
bad.
Because I know that you're doing
Mhm.
that on purpose. But if you type out should of, I just know you're dumb. Okay, go ahead. Unpause.
Okay. So when you did conversions, because I know you're not really doing them that much anymore, did it ever drive you crazy when you find errors in the PDF? Any kind of error, not just spelling or grammar, but like I've found a lot of times with when people build a class in a table, it'll be like they get XYZ at all these levels, but then those abilities, when they're listed out in text,
Yeah.
they'll either have like different headings, they'll be called something totally different or whatever. I'm like, what is this? This is a mess.
So
Does that piss you off?
Yes, and depending on how well I know the person, the less well I know them, the easier I am on them. But I would passively aggressively like send them a message. Hey, I noticed that this was like this. Was that intentional? You know, to get them to say, you know, they get to save face. You know, I'm like, hey, fucker, you're not professional. This is not, you know, I'm not going to do that. That's dumb.
Right. I mean,
But
I
yeah,
don't expect it to be
it
like
does upset me.
WotC
Yeah.
level professionalism.
Right. Ooh,
But
I found it.
some stuff.
There is a typo in this book.
There's a typo. Yes, there is. Oh my gosh. I wonder if we're thinking of the same typo, except I can't think of it what it is off the top of my head.
The reason I remember it is because the only reason I caught it is it screwed up an effect. It's where they said
thou shalt not mess with our effects.
It's supposed to be such and such on half damage on a save, half damage on a successful one, and they put HAVE damage, half damage.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. I know. I saw that same freaking typo, and I was like, motherfuckers.
I wonder if I'll be very pleased with myself if it's on the page I think it is.
And 3.5e concepts in a do you Medicare? Do you mean like actually mechanics from those editions? Because like I don't mind if it's like 3.5 or 4e concepts, but like reworked so they work in 5th edition, that doesn't bother me.
No, that's fine.
I actually think it's really smart. There's cool stuff in 4th edition. Please don't shoot me because I know everybody hates 4th edition, but there's actually really cool
elements
concepts
of it
in 4th edition.
Yeah.
I just had to my hands up. I'm not holding a weapon. Please don't shoot me. But if you mean they put like a 3.5e straight up stat block or a 4th edition stat block in a 5th edition adventure, that would be nuts. I'd be like, what is this?
That particular example.
Reflex save. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. That
particular example that you just cited is grounds for capital punishment, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, putting like a will saves, reflex saves, make a spot check. Like what?
make a spot check. Roll your.
Look, I played 3rd edition. Okay?
What's your Thaco? Yeah.
Oh my God, no! Thaco can die in a fire.
I want my records back. Did I get your soda out your nose? I like it.
Close. No, I'm serious though. Thaco can die in a fire. Worst shit ever. That's all I'm saying. Ascending or descending armor class.
I like it the way it is.
Yeah, I like the way it is. It numerically makes sense.
5th edition, to me, and I realize this is arguable amongst many, 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons is the perfect RPG. I actually don't find anything wrong with it. I don't. I haven't. But I realize that is a controversial statement. I realize it. It's perfect for me. And I like it.
It is perfect for me.
I like it so well that I've memorized about 90% or 95% of the rules, and I don't care to learn other RPGs. I will play them, but I'm not going to memorize the rules. Yeah.
Right. That's my problem too. I've played other systems. I've played altogether. Maybe like 10 other systems. But yeah, none of them make me go bananas like 5th edition D&D
Right.
does. I go crazy for it, and like I have been 4 years nonstop hype train for D&D in the Robin Station. Like
Hype
it's not
train.
going
Choo-choo.
yeah, exactly. Um and I just don't see that like dying at any time. But like I played Savage Worlds, I played Cypher System, I played Vert, which is like part of Cypher. Well, not part, it's built on Cypher System. I've played Swords and Sorcery, I think it's called. I don't remember. I've played Call of Cthulhu, Vampire the Masquerade. Yeah, I don't know. They're all great, but they're just not 5th edition.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Just love me some
I've
5th
played
edition.
many an RPG, and I've mainly had fun on all of them. There's maybe 1 or 2 times I played somebody introduced me to, and I'm like, yeah, this is boring. But I have had fun. It's not wasted time, and I do like to learn about other things. But it's like, it's like having a favorite movie, or having a favorite song, or having a favorite TV show. It's probably not ever going to change. You're going to keep doing
exactly.
that, you're going to keep thinking about that movie or that song.
Yes.
Choo choo, mother truckers.
Big fish. Choo choo, mother truckers. That's right.
Big fish.
This was awesome. I don't know if you were like trying to close out the show or what,
No,
but this was
the
awesome.
reason I was
we
asking
should do
is
this more often.
I will go until your husband comes in and taps you on the shoulder and says, that's enough.
The great thing is, love him. He probably wouldn't ever do that because he's so like, hey, that's your thing, babe. Have fun. Like he wouldn't come in here and be like, okay, time to go. Yeah, no, he's super awesome. So just whenever.
Because I'm the guy that will say to a person when I'm visiting them at their home, you're gonna have to ask me to leave. I'm just telling you that up front. And they're like, what do you mean?
I'm kind of like that.
And I'm
too.
like, oh, I
We
won't
are the
leave
same
on my
person.
own. Like I won't get it. You're gonna have to
Right,
say,
yeah.
okay, Rob, thank you.
Time to go. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
For this show, we could set a time in the future. We should do this more often, you said. That's funny.
Yeah. See, I made a joke. I should be a comedian.
You should be a comedian. So that brings up a funny story. So, although the punchline to the story is open my wrist, so everybody just calm down. I'm not going to commit suicide. So,
okay.
When I got out of comedy, people were like, what are you going to do? What's going to be your job? And I go, well, I know I can't work an office job. And they go, why not? Are you above that? And I'm like, no, it's not that at all. I said, I can't go in a building daily where I know nobody, or only most of the people I don't know, because I'll be at the copy machine and I'll say something funny and the other person will say to me, you should be a comedian. And then I'll have to open my wrist because I already did that. I did that already, so I can't be around people. I can only be around people that, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Anyway, I regret that story. Somebody clip that.
I get it. No, don't clip it. No, it's a bad idea.
Dallas the RPG. You mean
I've never played that one.
You mean, well, I think he's Lensman. Is that like Who Shot JR Dallas the RPG? Is that what you mean? That's awesome. I want to be Sue Ellen. I don't know the characters. That's so old. Dynasty. Family Ties the
Is
RPG.
That a TV
Let's
show?
do it. Yeah, Dallas.
Okay.
Dallas was a very famous. As a matter of fact, Dallas was so famous. Have you ever heard the term Who Shot JR?
No.
So, in the late 70s or very early 80s, there was a cliffhanger on this soap. It was a nighttime soap. It was basically a soap opera, but it was at night. It was in prime time. And Larry Hagman, the guy from I Dream of Jeannie, if you've ever seen that, he played a main character named JR, and he was shot at the end of an episode, and then that was like the last episode of the season. And so in May, and you weren't going to find out till September who shot him. And it was like the first cliffhanger on TV that was a big deal. And so the nation went absolutely batshit. It was on Time magazine and everything. Who shot JR? And it was crazy. And then,
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's what that's about.
Dallas is the name of the show.
Yeah, the Dallas, yes. And they revamped it a couple years ago.
I need to watch it.
And they did like a new version of it for like 2 or 3 years of seasons.
And, okay. I need to find it. I'm going to find it and watch it.
You should go watch, just go to the Wikipedia entry and read the synopsis. You don't need to actually watch it.
No! Then that's like, I thought you hated spoilers. That's like,
well, I hate spoilers because I might one day watch it, but it was on like 11 years. You'll never fucking watch the whole thing.
You say that now, but just
you're
last
gonna binge the
year,
whole thing and then come back and tell me.
I'll tell you a story because just last year I rewatched all of the original Star Trek series, Star Trek: The Next Generation, Star Trek: Deep Space Nine, and Star Trek Voyager, all in a year. So
wow.
Challenge accepted.
What is your favorite original series episode? And I already know the answer because you're me, so you're going to say the same as me.
Well, what if I don't? I really like the episode with the Tribbles, obviously. And, you know what? When Spock gets all, like, crazy because he's having Ponfar, I fucking love that episode. Yes, I love that episode. What's your favorite episode?
I've killed my captain.
Oh my god, I love that episode.
That is one of my favorite, probably my second favorite actually. And it may have been my favorite at one time, but I really just love Mirror Mirror. Evil Spock. Spock with
yeah.
I love that. I love it so
much. That
much.
One's good too. That one's really good. I like all the episode.
There's like 2 episodes of the original series that I don't care for. I'll watch them anyway. They're all awesome, but there's 2. The Lights of Zetar where they're chasing that big space amoeba. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh yeah,
you're running out of
like
ideas, guys. Come on. Mud's Women. Yeah, which one? There was 2 of them.
I remember that episode too. Man, it's all coming back to me.
Stella 500. Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm gonna watch it.
Everything that you say is a lie, but you are lying. So if you say everything is a lie, but it is a lie, then it is the truth. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
See, I wish I could like quote the shows like everybody. I don't know how people do that. They just commit everything to memory.
No, it's not that.
Memory.
It's that I've watched each of those episodes over 100 times, possibly multiple hundreds.
Because I've probably only seen them like twice.
That was my jam. Like when I was a kid in school, you would come home. People that are my age, when you would come home from school, there was only 3 television channels. That's it. There was no internet. There was no cable. Nothing. Yeah. So when you would come home from school, there was these maybe half a dozen, 8-10 shows that for like a period of 10 years that every person my age would watch when they came from school. So it was Brady Bunch.
I Love Lucy.
Not so much I Love Lucy, but I'm not that old. But
I Dream of Jeannie.
Yeah, no, but it was Star Trek, Batman, Gilligan's Island, Brady Bunch, these type shows. Yeah, it was a.
I love Gilligan's Island.
Yeah, my favorite
good show
is Gilligan's trying to hide something in the hut that he doesn't want the professor and the skipper to see. So he makes up a song and he goes, "Don't go in there, yeah, yeah. There's nothing in there, yeah, yeah." That's like my favorite moment from that show. Tom and Jerry Cordovan, I never got into it. Never got into Tom and Jerry. But I'm a huge Warner Brothers cartoons fan. Love Warner Brothers.
Did you watch a lot of MASH? My dad watched MASH every single day of my entire life.
MASH is another, Hogan's Heroes, excellent.
And my mom really liked Doogie Howser. Like, my mom was huge on Doogie Howser. I didn't have it in my heart to tell her that Neil Patrick Harris is gay.
Right. I love Neil Patrick Harris to death, but
Me too.
I did not care for Doogie Howser, though. I love everything he's done since then. That it was a dick move. That's why I'm buying your meal. And I saw all of where he played a playboy, the How I Met Your Mother. I saw that whole series.
I love How I Met Your Mother. I've seen that whole series twice, all the way through, start to finish. Love that show.
Yeah, that was a good show.
It's like one of that's why I always say like challenge accepted. I fucking love that show. It's a good show. You should watch it.
Oh, the A Team was good, but that they didn't play that during the day though. That was always just on at night.
I've never even heard of the A Team, but
What?
I will Google.
It's a Bradley Cooper
sorry.
movie. They made the movie. Bradley Cooper.
Who's Bradley Cooper again?
Right. Okay. Do you know her? Do you know Lady
Rob's
Gaga?
like, I give up.
I give up.
Yes, I know who Lady Gaga is. I am a millennial.
I'm not.
I'm an elder millennial, but I'm a millennial.
You're an elder millennial. What is the years? What is the?
So elder millennials are millennials that were born in the 80s.
So it's 86 to what? When does it
we
stop?
had like part of our childhood. We remember what life was like before the internet,
right,
and before cell phones. So yeah, we're elder millennials.
But do you know what it's 86 to when? When does a millennial stop? Like
2000?
Like I don't know.
2000? Yeah,
okay.
2000, 2001. Yeah, so like you're talking 2 decades of kids born after me that are still millennials. That's crazy.
Right.
Because I can't imagine somebody 20 years younger than me as the same generation as me. That's weird. I just don't agree with it.
Right. Well, I'm an elder Gen Xer.
Right.
I'm at the edge of Gen X the same way you're at the edge of millennials.
Yeah, exactly.
On the bottom end, but yeah. But when somebody says, "Okay, boomer," to me, I say, "Okay, let's just take a time out here because no, I'm not a baby boomer."
Right, yeah.
I was not
Clancy, but the internet was really different in 1989. It was not at all what it's like nowadays. Like, at all.
No. I remember, I think I was telling you this the other day. I remember when Yahoo was a listing service and everything they had was a manual thing that you put on there or that they put on there. You know, Jerry and Sam in their garage and San Bernardino, whatever the fuck those guys are.
Yeah, look, I know, okay. I remember when we had dial-up. I remember before we had dial-up, like we used to have to go elsewhere to use the internet. It was not that common in people's houses. We would have to go to like the library or computer rooms. Those were a thing. Like our shopping mall had a place where you could rent a computer to use the internet. And this was back when like ICQ was how you would chat with people online. Yeah. So that was my childhood. So I used to go to the mall. My brothers always would play in the arcade. There are kids nowadays that don't even know what an arcade is, which is mind blowing. But anyway,
we have an arcade.
My brothers would play. My brother would play. Yeah, nowadays they're totally different though. And Chuck E. Cheese doesn't count. Okay, so my brothers would play in the arcade, and I would go to the little computer room to check my live journal. I used to have like a live journal blog. Okay, yeah, I'm an idiot.
This is my like video game computer history. I started with Pong, and then
Pong.
Atari 2600. And then I grew up in a middle class family,
I did not.
We had my mother was a school teacher, a primary school teacher, and my father was a letter carrier, so I was a middle class family.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Must be nice.
Well, it had its perks, but it wasn't that nice. So, but what was nice was that I occupied my time in my room with these video games. So I had Pong, Atari 2600. I had the Atari 800 computer. I had the Atari 800, the Atari 400. I had a Timex Sinclair. I had oddly I did not have I skipped over Commodore 64, but I did have a Commodore 128 in college. And then I've had various, IBM all the way to today with these computers. But I also had a TRS-80 Model 4, which is what I learned programming on in high school. We were the first high school to get computers, and I signed up for that shit cool. right away.
Right away.
Right away.
Yeah,
I had Nintendo. Yeah, I had that.
My second grade or third grade was the first grade when like our school had computers and we were doing like typing classes and we would play like Mavis Speak and Teach Us Typing and all of those things. Some people might not know what that is because that's like a 90s thing. But yeah.
Yeah. I learned in BASIC.
Yeah, I don't know.
My junior project was I wrote a fully functioning roulette program that
That's
spun
cool.
the wheel, calculated the odds, gave you the payouts and all that stuff. And then I finished it and I printed out the code. And then the hard disk at the school fucked up my save and my floppy disk and I lost it. And on the last day of school, my teacher said, if you will go home over the summer, retype this and save it and bring it to me on the first day of school, I will backdate your grade. And I did, and he did. Yeah. So I got an A on my final project the next semester or whatever. But yeah, I was freaking out. And it just so happened that my friend who lived 2 doors down, his older brother had this computer.
Wow.
Yeah, their family was a little better off than mine, but
yeah, no, I grew up dirt poor. Let's see, the first computer we had was like given to us by a family member, and it was one of those Macintosh that had like the color panels on the side. I don't remember what they were called.
Yeah.
It was like the very first one that they did like
was
that.
Was it an Apple?
Yeah, it was a Macintosh. Yeah. Well, I don't think it was an Apple. They weren't called Apple at the time.
Did I tell you about the letter I wrote to Steve Jobs in high school?
You wrote a letter to Steve Jobs.
I wish I still had it. I had it for a while. It got lost in a move, but in 1983, my mom brought home from her grade school. They told her, take this home for the summer and learn how to use it. It was an Apple IIe. And I'm like, Apple IIe, you got to be fucking kidding me. And my mom's like, no, that's what it's called. And it says, Roman numeral 1, small.
I remember those.
And then I wrote a letter to Steve Jobs. I went to the library or wherever, I don't know how, there's no internet. I found out who Steve Jobs was. And I wrote him a letter, stamp in the mail, the whole thing. And I said,
aww,
dear Mr. Jobs, my name is Rob Toohey. My last name is phonetically pronounced Toohey. Would you please send me a free Apple IIe computer?
Please give me free shit.
And I got back from Steve Jobs a handwritten note that just said, nice try, kid, Steve Jobs. And now he's dead. Fuck Steve Jobs. What a douche.
You know why I hate Apple so much.
I fucking hate Apple. I hate Apple. I hate them. And my iPad's in the other room. I am not an Apple fan, said the guy who owns an iPhone, an Apple phone, everything.
I am not at all an Apple fan.
But I don't like the actual computers. They're too, and I'm a whole, well, that's a Galaxy, right?
Yeah, this is the Galaxy S10.
That is an insanely sized phone.
It's not the S10. It's a Galaxy Note 10. I used to have the S10. And then my husband, he loves Google. So we have Google Homes in our house, like everywhere, one in every room. And I mean, every room, like the kitchen, the living room. Yeah, it's crazy. And he has the Google, like the actual Google phone, the Pixel 4, something or another.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. Yeah. Google, I don't know. They own everything.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, this was awesome. We should probably call it now. But this was awesome. We should do it again sometime.
we should do this every week. That's what we should do.
There is one Wednesday in May where I can't, but you'll survive.
I should do. You draw like a cartoon picture of yourself, and I'll put it up there, and then I'll just talk to you.
You'll just talk to you. Yeah, why don't you just get somebody else to come in and hang out with you like that Wednesday night? It's just one Wednesday in May. You'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll find somebody. I'll find somebody named Rob or Robin.
Ooh,
Or
that
someone-
actually might not be that hard.
Or someone who's willing to be referred to as that, even though I know my name's Michelle, but I'm gonna call you Robin. Yeah.
Welcome to the show tonight. I'm gonna call you Robin for the
Playing
rest of the night.
playing the part of Robin will be be some dude.
Not that hard. I
right,
am
well, so
super
we'll call it-
impersonatable.
You're super impersonatable.
Yay! This was super fun. Hey, chat. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with us and asking us questions and talking to us. Y'all are amazing.
Y'all are amazing, and yes,
Y'all are amazing.
thank you, chat, for watching. I'm not sure these will actually even be uploaded to YouTube, so I think this is a come and see the show or you missed it.
Ooh.
But
Yeah,
maybe
we might turn it into like an audio podcast that you can
Yes,
listen to.
As a matter of fact, I've always been
Mhm.
excited to do a podcast that was just like we do here. Turn it on, do the whole thing, turn it off, no editing. Just whatever the fuck happens is what happens.
And like the former podcaster in me is like, nobody would listen to that. Like the show has to have format. It has to have like, a specific topic. But, who knows? Whatever. Thank you guys, chat, for coming to hang out with us, though. We appreciate it.
We totally do. And I think we should, I have a different, I say good gaming, everyone, at the end of every one of my shows. We should maybe do a thing that's for our show. What should we do?
I don't know. I'm not good at improv or being put on the spot.
Did you realize that nearly everything you say every day 24/7 is improv? Did you realize that?
Well, okay, but like that doesn't mean everything I think of on the spot is a good idea. I don't know. Shit. I don't know.
Well,
good game. So you sign off. That's your sign off. Like we're newscasters. Okay, so we need a sign off.
We need to figure out a sign off. So, maybe one idea could be.
I like that one, George.
Good rambling.